Session 1 here at Broadbeach on day 4 of the Nationals here in 2024. It's our first time at Broadbeach on Ringside Live, and it's B7, B8 singles action between Queensland's Annette Goldsworthy and Victoria's Alison East. We start off with a 2-all commencement here. So both players have shared the opening 2 ends. Or opening 4 ends, I should say. A really interesting start here. Val Febo with you at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. Great to be back here at the home of, or the major home of the Australian Open, where we base ourselves out of. It's an amazing facility that they have here. So Alison East sending down her third bowl. She's currently holding 2. Currently got 3. What can Annette Goldsworthy do? Curling in nicely. Don't think it's done enough. I think she's still probably down 1 or 2. So we'll go down the rink and have a look at what the total will be. Dare say it's going to be a couple here to Alison East. First of 2 days of action here for us at Ringside Live at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. So we'll have a look at what our marker indicates, surveys the rink. And great to see the Paras having such a sensational time of it at this state-of-the-art facility. So we are going to get a measure. Might be a measure 4 shot in the end. Or was it for 2? So 1 was taken out, but I think, yeah, that was the shot bowl. So this is a measure for 2 here. So Alison East. So I think it was just the 1 in the end. Oh, it was a full count, actually. There you go. Sorry, I did miss the hand signals. Just sort of a little bit obstructed from where the head was. So 4 for Alison East. That's a big start She moves ahead 6-2 on the board in this race to 21. Good morning to wherever you're watching from around the world. Val Febo with you. So Alison is one of the right-at-home Jackaroos, playing in a couple of events this week. She's in pairs action as well. Same with Annette Goldsworthy, who's partnering with Cheryl Linfield. The Women's Open pairs. Okay, and the scoreboard wasn't updated before. It's actually 8-2. So she's doubled her score, Alison East, and she moves on. She's got a lot of quality, that is for sure. Here on Green 4 at Broadbeach, one of the premier bowls greens in the world. This patch of grass is one that so many bowlers aspire to play on in front of those big grandstands, whether that's at World Bowls Championships level or the Australian Open. If you make those final couple of days, you are well and truly a star. And we saw some epic matches here on the final 2 days of the Australian Opens. Alison East, has she got the legs to get there? You bet she does. Sort of black and grey bowls of hers. And yeah, if you look at the matches that we had just in terms of broadcast in the finals, Aaron Sheriff and Cohen Litfin, that was here. That was a ripper. Women's pairs, Christina Christic, Ellen Fife getting the job done there. That wasn't close, but the stories were good. Chrissy in her 7th Australian Open final and finally getting that title. Ellen Fife winning while pregnant. Men's pairs, well, that was something special. Jack McShane with the final bowl of the extra end after Nathan Rice pulled out some excellent deliveries to send it there. And then the women's singles final, Kelsey Cottrell and Lara Butler. Lara winning that pregnant, but it was an epic contest as well. Then you go to Green 1, where it was just absolutely brilliant. The action in the under-18s, 4s, over 60s, and para women's singles, the multi-disability women's singles. That was Serena Bonnell who won that. She'll be one of the favourites here. Her and Louise Hoskins tend to do battle at this sort of level. Cheryl Linfield in there as well. Queensland so strong. Got a ripping men's match to come after this as well. Jimmy Reynolds up against Josh Thornton. That's going to be an amazing matchup in the men's singles B7-8 quarterfinal. Annette Goldsworthy. It's in a really nice delivery. These are some of the premier para bowlers in the world. Australia's been so blessed to have such a great crop, and they were the overall para champions at the World Bowls Championships last year. And those 6 bowlers were Damien Delgado, Jamie Reynolds, Cheryl Linfield, Serena Bonnell, Jake Felberg and Jackie Hudson, with their 2 directors as well. Robert Hudson and Cody Felberg. So I dare say Annette Goldsworthy may have shot here, but that bowl of Alison's is close. She gives the mat away, 1 taken out. We're going to measure for the second, so Annette will get the mat back, and let's see what she does with it. believe was that there was no signal from the marker. I might just go and ask him what it was. Confirmation from the marker that it was 1 to Annette Goldsworthy. So 8-3 in favour of Alison East. So in this direction last time at Alison netted a 4. Been pretty relentless so far in that sort of Rafael Nadal mode. And Rafa, of course, announcing his retirement last night from tennis. One of the greatest athletes of all time. Very sad day for global sport, that is for sure. Just one member of that big 4 left. And another one there for Alison East. So she's looking very solid. Going in this northern direction towards the fish and chip shop. And a really big chance now, a really big chance to make it another full count and move to a 12-3 buffer. Just needs to rinse and repeat from her last 3. That's all she needs. These greens are so true. How is it moving? Well, it's moving to perfection. And that is number 1. Best till last for Alison East. She's laughing all the way down to the other end because that was brilliant. 12-3 is the buffer in this race to 21. This section, really interesting one at that. B7-8 singles. Played 2 matches and funnily, Annette Goldsworthy is on 2 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. So 2-0 from her 2 matches. Has played really well. Alison East, 1 win, 1 draw. And that draw was against Gail Schultz of New South Wales. So the winner of this will go through to the next round. There's 4 sections, so the winner of this goes through to the semi-finals. Serena Bonnell leads the other section, Section 1. This is 2. Cheryl Linfield leads Section 3. And Marika Rain of Tasmania leads Section 4. And she just needs to defeat Louise Hoskins, who had a bye and a loss. So Marika Rain up against Louise Hoskins for that spot. And if Louise wins that by 6 shots, she will be going through. If she wins it by 7, she's definitely going through. 6 is sort of that around the mark number. So the Tasmanian will just need to get to about 17 in that race to 21. Of course, if it is timed out in these sections, that's how you can get draws. And we saw that draw between Gail and Alison yesterday at 17 apiece. So they got close, but no cigar. This has been a really hot start from the Victorian right at home Para Jackaroo. Almost collecting the jack there, Alison East. Very close. Very warm day on the Gold Coast today. Says 22 at the moment on my watch, but feels a lot higher than that. This green at this time of the morning gets absolutely baked, and it starts to get a lot faster throughout the day. Just where it's situated. It gets a bit slower and around that 3-4 o'clock mark. But around this time of the morning, currently 9:10 a.m. This is when the green starts to get baked by that sun, because there's no cloud cover on it, with the buildings not having any shadows over it. Really important bowl coming up here for Alison East. Down 2 at the head. Marker indicating that as well. Huge bowl coming up for Alison East. Let's see what she does. Lining up for the backhand. Trying to trail that jack towards her own and make a couple. I think she's just got a bit too much away, but it is hooping back. She's close. Well, she's cut it down for sure. That's only 1 now. So from splitting the first 4 ends, Alison has been in rampant form. A couple of 4s and a 2. How will this move in? Has that affected anything, or is it still just the 1? I reckon that's probably still just a single to Annette Goldsworthy, who hasn't scored a multiple as of yet. They'll serve overhead. Will they want to measure for a second? Or are they happy to give that just the 1? Alison takes 1 out. And no, we are going to get it. We are going to get the tape out. And just the one to Annette Goldsworthy in the end. So 12-4 the score. Alison East has been flying so far. Three-quarter length. Alison East, a member of the Hamilton Bowling Club in Victoria. Hamilton's out in the sort of far western region of Victoria, just north of Port Fairy and Portland, past Warrnambool. Sort of got to go through towards the Grampians, just south of there. Some great towns along those roads. You can either go through Adelaide that way towards Mount Gambier. Great part of the world in Western Victoria. Annette Goldsworthy is from the Burnett Bowls Club. Bundaberg West. So keep driving north of here, north of Brisbane, north of the Sunshine Coast as well. Sort of up towards sort of halfway between the Sunshine Coast and Noosa and Rockhampton. That's where you'll find the Burnett Bowls Club. And again, bowling in this northern direction, Alison East holding sway. It's been cut down to 1. Let us know where you're watching from around the world. Great to have your company. Brilliant bowl from Annette Goldsworthy. It won't take me long to say it. That's worthy of gold. Alison East on the verge of losing 2 ends in a row for the first time. However, and great sportsmanship from Annette as well. Says, what a bowl, because that's exactly what it was. That was sensational from the Parajackaroo. Alison East, wrestle shot back. 13-4. These greens are so consistent. Both hands play beautifully. So lucky to have some wonderful facilities. Beck Van Ash was saying on Without Bias this week, you can catch up on all those episodes, that her favourite clubs to bowl at are Broadbeach and Club Tweed. That's the two clubs that we've got at the 2024 Nationals. Annette Goldsworthy, 59 years of age. Alison East, 65, turned 66 in January. And she's on the money pretty quickly. That is going to be hard to beat. She's within 8 of victory. However, last time out, bowling in that direction. Well, she had 2 fours bowling in the northern direction. Only a 1 that time. Had to save it with her last, but she's still doing well. Like, hasn't dropped multiple ends in a row, as I said, and hasn't conceded more than a 1. And if that's the case in a 2-hour time limit, she'll be pretty happy with that. Nearly been going an hour. The 2-hour time limit's quite helpful. I couldn't get a spot inside the Broadbeach car park this morning, so I had to park in a 3-hour zone, so I'll have to go move my car after this. Alison East, that is not a bad effort. Annette Goldsworthy is just going to treacle in between those two. Alison about to send down another one. Just going to drift underneath, so changing hands there. How's that from Annette Goldsworthy? Sensational. 1 bowl left to come for each. Alison's played this with a bit of weight, and I tell you what, she's not far away. She's going to find the gap. That's cruel. That is very cruel. Sometimes you wouldn't get that if you tried to get it. So for the first multiple of the day for Annette Goldsworthy to give herself a little bit more of a sniff here. How is this going to turn? It's got the right weight, but I think she's going to crash. She is 1 to the Queenslander. 13.5. So the last 3 ends have seen 3 multiples. Oh, sorry, 3 singles. Starting another end. So Alison East, this has been her direction. She hasn't lost an end going this way at all, which is so mightily impressive. It's one of the big reasons why she's in front by so much. Leads by 9. 8. 13.5 is the score. She's got one here as well. Big thank you to all the volunteers that are here and marking, doing a wonderful job, either here or Club Tweed. This is day 3 of Paranationals action, and one more day to come tomorrow with a lot of finals and gold medals to be awarded. This to add in a third for Alison East. She just loves bowling in this northern direction. This one's pretty tight, I think, for Annette Goldsworthy. That is going to cut back hard. So another chance for a third full count. Alison East just needs to do exactly what she's done with her 3 previous deliveries. How's it coming in? Last time she went for a full count, her 4th was the best one of the lot, and it is a sense of deja vu. That is phenomenal. 4 more to Alison East. 17-5. She is firing on all cylinders this morning. 17-5. That is a big scoreline. What's happening with this jack? It's gone travelling into the ditch. Haven't seen too many go into the ditch. These greens do run pretty quick though, but have seen a jack almost submerged by water. What's Alison East going to do? Oh, sorry, what's Annette Goldsworthy going to do with this? Yeah, that'll do. That's legal. Jack onto the centre line. And we resume. It's been a great couple of days of the Nationals so far. We've seen the first lots of gold medals awarded. We saw the champion of champions in Chloe Stewart, Jacob Nelson. And then the overall team, the under-18 championships is New South Wales. Overall girls was New South Wales. Overall boys, Queensland. Victoria were the runner-up in the overall. Some of the New South Wales athletes went home with 4 medals, which was so impressive. Checkout zone time for Alison East. Within one end of victory. About 54 minutes to play in terms of time. Alison puts that in nicely. She's holding 2. I dare say that's going to change. The last 3 ends in this direction has seen Annette Goldsworthy take a single. That one might have just gone a bit too far. Still 1 to Alison East. Probably not going to get the full count here. Matchup between Marika Rain and Louise Hoskins is going quite interestingly. Marika leading 13-10 there. She only has to get to 17 or 16. This is nice from Alison East. That's brilliant. But yeah, Marika Rain only has to get to about 16, 17 in that match to go through and knock Louise Hoskins out, which would be a really big result. Louise is a right-at-home para Jackaroo and Australian Open finalist from this year, losing to Serena Bonnell. Now this one from Annette Goldsworthy, almost there for 2. Or sorry, almost there to cut that out, but still 2 to Alison East, who's looking to pop in a 3rd. A little bit of cloud cover now. If this has the weight, it's on a pretty good track. That's number 1. So a lot to do for Annette Goldsworthy. Sends it trundling on its way down. How's it looking? How is it looking? Just going to drift through. And Alison East is within 1 of victory. 20-5. She has been instrumental. So 15-shot lead to Alison East. So she's had 3 4s in this direction, has the Victorian. Hasn't lost an end in this direction. So if that tradition and trend continues, this one's probably going to be over at the end of this end. Alison East has been supreme. Annette Goldsworthy, can she fight back? Currently, I believe that's 2 to Alison East. As Robbie Allen next to me just checks the Bureau of Meteorology. There is not any bit of rain in sight. Next session to start up at 11 a.m. local time. It's 9:36 at the moment. How's this one travelling? It's just going to drift through. So Alison East holding game, 1 to go. This one's going to drift under, so to save game, time for Annette Goldsworthy. So she has saved it. Wins in this direction for the first time. Do we have a twist in this tail maybe? Who knows? So that one just drifting through, just to the side. So Alison with an opportunity to hone in. She held game on many occasions. It went right down to the last bowl of that previous end. Only time she's lost in that northern direction. Watch this come back. Doesn't have the weight, but that's just a testament to how these greens are running. You can be so true. Oh, Annette's watching this one. If it gets around the front, she's a certain chance. I'll tell you what, I reckon that might have done the job. Going around the back there, Alison. Well, Louise Hoskins has made her move. 13-10 down. She's now 13-15 in front. Now this needs to get around the front here for Annette. Does, so she's holding two. Annette Goldsworthy, that will do for three. Oh, might only be the two, looking at the head from my angle here. Two. Measure for the third, Marcus says. So now this is it to win. Alison East needs to find something special, otherwise we go on. She's going to come up and have a look. Annette's going to do the same. Alison now, here we go. She's not far away here. Alison East, is this to win it? It is to win it. That is a certainly good way to stamp your authority on what was a supreme performance. She came down and had a look and nailed her line, nailed her length, nailed her weight, and the Victorian she'll be going through. That is a wonderful way to finish this contest. She gets the win, 21-6. And Alison East, she's on her way to the semi-finals. Well done to her. Well done to Annette Goldsworthy on a great singles campaign. And we'll be back in just over an hour's time for the next matchup. That's going to be a cracking contest. Jimmy Reynolds against Josh Thornton, world champion versus Commonwealth Games gold medalist.